Hello and welcome to another episode of Stream It or Leave It. Today I'm going to be talking about the Korean Netflix show Squid Game. Parasite remains one of my all-time favorite movies, but I've never actually seen a Korean TV show. If you have any other recommendations, please feel free to share them down below. Anyway, onto the video. Seong-ji lives with his mother and he's a chauffeur who can barely pay his bills and debts. One day, he takes his mother's bank card and bets all of the money on horses, and his horse wins 4.5 million won. Just then, some loan shark types see him, and after a chase, they eventually catch up with him. When he goes to give the money to them, he realizes that the money must have fallen out of his pocket when he bumped into a girl, a possible pickpocket. Seong-ji takes his daughter out for tteokbokki for her birthday, and he feels bad that he can't spoil her or provide more for her. But his daughter tells him it's fine, her stepfather took her out for steak earlier. From their interactions, you can tell that she adores him, but she senses that he's not very responsible and she knows what will get him in trouble with her mother. She's kind of the little adult in the relationship and often goes out of her way to make her father feel better about his perceived failings. On the one hand, I feel as though kids shouldn't have to take this on, but I found it incredibly touching here, kind of like she sensed that her dad was just a little lost and kids just love unconditionally. Their scenes together are sad but also kind of wholesome. At the train station, Seong-ji gets into a bet with a man in a suit. Of course, Seong-ji doesn't have any money, so in lieu of payment, the man slaps him for every round of the game that he loses. When he finally wins, he gets 100,000 won, and the suit tells him that there are other games where he can make more money. Then the suit man tells him that he signed away his rights earlier. He owes millions to loan sharks and to the bank, and he gives Seong-ji a card telling him that they don't have many spots left if he wants to participate in some mysterious money-making scheme. As he's talking to his mother that evening, she tells him that his ex-wife's new husband will be moving the family to the US the following year. His mother encourages him to earn money and step up so that he doesn't lose his daughter. If she moves to the US, she could forget how to speak Korean and she wouldn't be able to communicate with him. He decides then to call the number on the business card, and he agrees to participate in the game so that he might be financially stable enough to have some custody of his daughter. Seong-ji is picked up, drugged in a van, and wakes up in what looks like a prison setup with a group of others. They're all being monitored by hooded figures, and overseen by a hooded figure in black who looks like Darth Vader. We find out that everyone is there because they're all in debt and they can't afford to pay any of it off. They are to participate in 6 games over 6 days, and upon completion of all of the games, they will receive a cash prize. Everyone is given an opportunity to leave, but none of them do. Also, the girl that Seong-ji bumped into at the horse races is there as well. In the first game, red light, green light, the participants need to run at the green light signal, and when they hear red light, they need to stop. If any movement is sensed after the red light, they're shot on the spot. By the end of the episode, only a handful of participants make it over the finish line. While all of this is happening, of course the mysterious Darth Vader figure is watching on a screen. We're eventually introduced to the main group. Seong-ji, who is the main protagonist, Chi Sang-woo, who is pretending to be a successful traveling businessman, but he's actually on the run from the police because of fraud charges. What was sad about his story is that we also get to see his very hardworking mother and how proud she is of his achievements and his hard work. So when the police come to her to tell her that they are searching for her son because of these fraud charges, her denial at first and then her heartbreak is just heartbreaking. Kang-se, who has crossed the border into South Korea, her father was shot and drowned while trying to cross, and her mother was sent back, so she is responsible for her brother's care, and he currently lives in a shelter as she tries to find money for them to survive and to be reunited with their mother. And an older man who has a brain tumor, and Seong-ji bonds with him the most. And then there's also Ali, who came to Korea from Pakistan, and he seems to have been not paid or scammed by his boss at work. He has a wife and a son, and he's trying to win the money to support his family in Korea and his family back home in Pakistan. So at this point, I've seen around 6 episodes so far, and I'm taking a bit of a break because it gets very intense. So while the game master or whomever is in charge fancies himself a do-gooder who believes in egalitarian principles, he wants everybody to have a fair shot at winning, it's still so perverse and vulgar to basically watch poor people fight to the death for sport. I'm also rather attached to some of the characters now, and I'm at the point where they have to make some really difficult choices, and the stakes are pretty high. The game scenes are rather violent. This is Hunger Games, Parasite, and Black Mirror rolled into one, but it's still somehow pretty unique in its style. So as for whether I'd stream this, yes, I guess I already have actually. If you've seen it, feel free to share your thoughts. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching.